Welcome to part 2 of 2 for week 4 at the University of Bridgeport, Stat 400. So in this session, we're going to look at the R code necessary to do some descriptive statistics by different categories, by a categorical variable, as well as doing some graphics using box plots. So as usual, I'm going to start out by pointing to my work directory. I am going to call the ISLR library because that's where my data is. I am going to call my data, which is the OJ data within the package ISLR. And next thing is that I'm going to examine the structure of variables that should be categorical. So to do this, let's just do a quick look here at the data OJ. And what I see is that, again, I selected purchase, store ID, special CH, special MM, store 7, and store. So purchase is a factor. A factor in R that's already referring to a categorical variable. Level, CH, and MM, so it's either a sale of Citrus Hill or Minute Maid. Then we have store ID, which is just an ID. I'm going to put it in as a factor, as a categorical variable. It's really an ID. You shouldn't be modeling with this, but still I'm going to make it a factor. Then, and again, factor, categorical, interchangeable, at least factor within R is referring to a category. Then special CH. So if we get to special CH, which I've missed somehow, here we go. Indicator of a special. It's a 0, 1 variable. It's a dichotomous variable. So again, I'm going to make this a factor, same as MM, because it's either a 0 or a 1. And then I'm going to have store 7, a factor with levels no and yes, indicating whether the sale is at a store 7. Then I'm going to have store because which of 5 possible stores the sales occurred. So these are all categories. They're not continuous variables. So I'm going to check to make sure that they are categorical already. And with this, I use the str function, which stands for structure. What is the structure of OJ $purchase? Meaning, what is the structure of the variable purchase within the data set OJ? So let's run this. I see that purchase is already a factor. I see that store ID is just a number. I'm going to convert that to a factor. Special is just a number, a 0, 1. I want to create that a factor, same as special MM for special of Minute Maid. Then we have store 7. It is already a factor with 2 levels, yes or no, which is, this is the label of yes and no, but it's really 1s and 2s in the background. But again, it is a factor, so I don't have anything to do with that. Okay, and then store. It is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, meaning 5 different stores, but it's a number. I have to create that, make that a factor. So I'm not going to mess around with my original data set, OJ, capital O, capital J. I'm just going to create a new data set called little o, little j. Okay, so I just have to run this. And if you look at this, it's just a photocopy of OJ. But here I have my 2 data sets. I'm going to copy. But now, from now on, I'm going to work with little OJ. So how do we make this a factor? So all I have to do is say OJ $store ID. I'm going to insert into this variable the same variable, but as a factor. So if I run this, it created a factor. To test it, I created a factor. Here we have the structure statement. And now it is a factor with 5 levels. We know we have 5 stores anyway, so it makes sense. So special CH, so it was a 0, 1 thing. Run this and factor with 2 levels. It's either 0, 1. Special Minute Maid, factor 0, 1, factor with 2 levels. Store, again, it's kind of the same thing as store ID. Don't know why they have it repeated, but you know, let's clean it up. So with 5 levels. Okay. Now that we have our structure of our data correct, where categorical variables are already stored within R as factors, as categories. Now, you don't need to do this, but I'm just interested in sorting the data. Okay, and I'm going to create a new copy of the data called OJ2. I'm sorting all the rows, so remember it's rows, comma, columns. So here's the comma. I'm not doing anything with a column, so I'm selecting all columns, all variables. But the rows, I'm going to order them by store ID, week of purchase, and then purchase. If I do this, interesting thing, just to take a look here, we now have row names. So this is the original order of the data. And again, here we have the week of purchase, what was purchased, the price, so forth. You don't really need to do this. It's not something necessary, but just showing how you can sort in R. So let's say I want to see the average price of Citrus Hill and Minute Maid by store. So I can use the aggregate function as we saw in part 1. I want to do aggregate the sales price of CH, of Citrus Hill, by store, the function I want to get the mean. So here we go, hit the run button, and here I have store 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, meaning 5 different stores. Here's the average price of Citrus Hill. Now let's run this for Minute Maid, and here we have it. So interesting. Okay, we can also do the standard deviation just by copying, pasting the same function, just changing the function from mean to SD, meaning standard deviation. We get that. If you're going to do a lot of these statistics and you would like to see them all together, you should install the psych package. Here's the code to install the psych package. I already have it installed, so I'm just going to ask for the library of psych to get it loaded. And describe by the whole data set OJ by store. So let's run this. And here we have it all. Group 4, Group 3, Group 2, Group 1, Group 0. What do we get? We get, again, which variable we're talking about, 1 through 18. There's a little star here at store because that's the group by statement. We have the mean, the standard deviation, median, different other statistics here. We have the minimum, the maximum, the range, the skewness, the kurtosis, and the standard error. So all good things. We get a lot of things out of this. So it's kind of like the summary function, including skewness and kurtosis, which is really good. And we do, again, we're grouping this up by store. So this is really good. But again, it's a lot of numbers. So time to do some plots. So here I can do the box plot. I just want the price of Citrus Hill. Here I have this simple box plot. Okay, this is the price of Citrus Hill. And again, you have the median, you have the quartiles. This is probably the minimum, so forth. Okay, so now we want to do the price of Citrus Hill by store. All we have to have is this little squiggly sign, then which signals by and then store. Let's run this. Here we have the box plots of Citrus Hill by store. Copy and paste this code down here. All you have to do is go from Citrus Hill to Minute Maid, run this, and now you have the prices for Minute Maid. Pretty simple. Now, if you want to do it nicer, as I explained in the part 1, this is how you can add a label for the x-axis, a label for the y-axis, your title, and then a color. I have blue for Citrus Hill, and I have yellow for Minute Maid. Okay, if I run all of these together, what you get is the 2 plots. So you're saying, okay, I got the Minute Maid one, where's the Citrus Hill? Just hit the back button, and it's right over here. So with that, we conclude box plots and doing summary descriptive statistics by a factor, by a categorical variable. Now, time to get done with our assignment. Please note that there is not a part 3 of 3 video where I'm showing a sample assignment, because by now you kind of know how to do your assignment. So refer to the assignment page and you will see your assignment. Please do it. Any questions, please let us know. Bye.